This is Valley View News.
They're attacking students with these budget cuts.
And honestly, that's a moral injustice.
Some students protest at Cal State Northridge over ongoing budget cuts and tuition increases.
Now we have no place to go sit down and read a book and have a cup of coffee.
It's going to be really sad.
A Borders bookstore in Sherman Oaks is closing its doors as part of the company's bankruptcy.
It's just terrible. They're a little bit high.
And Southern California drivers are paying more at the gas pump as California tops the nation in highest gas prices.
Hello, and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Christine Valdez.
And I'm Julissa Reyes. The Wisconsin Senate has authorized the arrest of the Democrats who fled the state. The Democrats were declared in contempt of Senate rules and forced back to the chamber. The Republicans say that Democrats have essentially shut down state government since they fled to Illinois 2 weeks ago. 2 Democrats willingly returned to Wisconsin for negotiations with the Senate's top Republican.
Budget cuts are continuing to affect education at every level in California. Some college students and supporters protested at Cal State Northridge. It was a smaller demonstration than a similar one last year. Only a few hundred of the tens of thousands of students on campus took part. Valley View's Aaron Giddens has the story.
10% more, we say hell no!
The March 2nd protest at Cal State Northridge was just the beginning for many people protesting for change in higher education.
We say hell no!
The Activist Student Coalition, which is made up of several CSUN clubs, was responsible for the event. Justin Marks is one of the 4 CSUN students arrested during the 2010 protest and is back again this year leading the movement.
What we're getting is not what we ordered. Just like when you go to a restaurant and you place your order, it's like here, we've waited, and it's been 3 hours, so we still haven't gotten our food, and they bring us our food, and our plate's cracked, and there's a hair in it, and it's cold, and it's not even what we ordered. We have to get up and say that this is not what I ordered.
Passionate students were not shy when it came to sharing their opinions.
And we can't afford to wait around and wait for the system to change to bring down the prices, because the system's set up to make a profit off students. And honestly, that's a moral injustice.
It's instead of them trying to find alternatives, they're attacking students with these budget cuts. If we look at Chancellor Reed's salary, he makes more than the President of the United States to run 23 CSU campuses.
Protesters also expressed their thoughts through signs, speeches, and performances.
So I think we're doing pretty well. We had one last year.
Communication Studies professor Catherine Sorrells is no stranger to activism.
We need to do it on a more regular basis and figure out how to, like I said, have the pressure put on those leverage points that will really make a difference.
Los Angeles Police Department, campus police, and even an LAPD helicopter were in the area to make sure the march went smoothly. Chief of Police Ann Glavin says the day's events went well and that she also supports the students' efforts.
Yeah, we had a very good planning effort when we started this with the students. They were very communicative, been very cooperative. And I think the attitude going into it has been very good. I mean, it's a tough fiscal situation in the state and the country. How can you not support it? I think everybody does.
The battle for higher education doesn't stop here. On March 14th, these students will be taking their fight to the state's capital. In Northridge, I'm Aaron Giddens for Valley View News.
Many college campuses offer career centers, but many students want ways to get help after they graduate. Valley View News' Allison Fishbane joins us in the newsroom with more on the story. Allison?
One nonprofit organization is working to help people and especially graduates learn more about their desired professions. The JCs work with people between the ages of 18 and 40 on the skills they need to be successful.
An average of 90,000 students graduate from California state universities each year. Many leave uncertain about their future and could use assistance when transitioning into the job market. The problem is, many students don't know about organizations that can help them pursue their careers. Some CSUN students say they would take advantage of any programs that could lend a hand.
Yeah, I definitely would, especially since I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I think that would be very helpful in finding a career or an opportunity for me once I graduate.
I mean, any help would be great, I think.
Well, fortunately, there's a nonprofit organization that can help. The JCs work with anyone looking to start or further their careers. They can help you network and even teach you about your industry of choice.
The JCs, short for Junior Chamber Members, is a national organization which gives young people the tools they need to be successful. San Fernando Valley's chapter president, Nick Ramirez, says the organization is especially helpful for recent college graduates like him.
You make a lot of different connections, business and personal. And based on through those connections, you're going to be able to benefit yourself in your personal life.
Fellow member Christina Ramirez joined the JCs after seeing the positive impact it had on her brother Nick.
I just naturally kind of fizzled in and started going to the different events and liked what I saw and liked all the people that were a part of the organization. So I decided to join, and I love it.
The organization meets monthly to discuss upcoming events and networking opportunities for both professional and social purposes.
General membership meetings are held every fourth Tuesday, in Van Nuys, and there's the cost to attend is $0, and our membership costs for the year are very, very low. And we encourage you, if you're looking to get involved, meet new people, maybe make some business connections, stop on in.
For more information on the San Fernando Valley JCs, go to sfvjcs.org.
The JCs will be having their biggest event of the year on April 10th. They invite other nonprofit organizations to discuss networking and job opportunities. Back to you.
Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi and rebel forces are battling with both weapons and words. Both sides are claiming success in holding on to cities near the capital of Tripoli. Makeshift armies have taken up arms fighting for Gaddafi's ouster. They are trying to gain control of the cities within about 50 miles of the capital. Many of those fighting have no experience but are using whatever they can find to fight Gaddafi and those loyal to him.
Actually, I've learned some stuff in 4 days because I've spent 4 days right now joining the military. And you can say that the factor of fear isn't here anymore.
Government forces are reportedly slaughtering Libyans in the streets, and many wonder how long they will be able to last without international assistance. Witnesses say the rebels may only have enough supplies for the next 3 weeks. U.S. authorities are reportedly considering implementing a no-fly zone in the area.
Secretary of Defense Robert Gates paid an unannounced visit to U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Gates arrived Monday for scheduled meetings with senior officers and Afghan leaders. Gates seemed to choke up answering a question from a service member at Bagram Airfield.
I think a lot about the people out here and what you're having to put up with and the conditions you live in and sacrifices you make.
Gates last visited the troops in December 2010. He will also travel to southern and eastern parts of the embattled country.
Governor Jerry Brown is telling state lawmakers to focus more on the state's deficit. Lawmakers have proposed more than 2,000 bills addressing items such as caffeinated beer and spaying pet dogs. Brown is asking the legislator to cut back on new proposals. Republican Assemblyman Brian Nestande has introduced a bill calling for lawmakers to introduce fewer bills.
Journalist Yuna Lee spoke to Cal State Northridge students about her capture and imprisonment in North Korea. Lee was working on a documentary for Current TV about North Korean defectors when she and her colleague Laura Ling were imprisoned in 2009. In her book, The World is Bigger Now, Lee told student journalists sometimes play a dangerous role in helping people who cannot help themselves.
We are not reporting for our benefit. We are reporting for those whose voice cannot be heard.
Journalism student Mary Capina said listening to Lee's story revealed the risks journalism take.
You have to ask yourself as a person, not just as a journalist, like, is it worth sacrificing my family, or is this assignment really worth sacrificing my life? That's something that you really have to think about and analyze as to how important is this to you.
Lee said she hopes her experience can encourage journalism students to chase stories that are important. Coming up next, Valley View's Brittany Johnson reports a major bookstore filing for bankruptcy. And we'll have entertainment news, including more troubles with Charlie Sheen.